Body for Lorie that I don't use because this is a soft body, what means that the body part here is bendable like everywhere, and because the neckline here is bendable, it won't hold the head up as good as it should. So I'm not using this body, but I've saved it because of her arms and legs. I can use that if something happens to my doll. But I'm going to make a mold of her neckline here because I'm going to make some jewelry for her. So I rolled out a piece of clay in a thicker setting, and I am going to wrap that around her neckline somehow. And sorry about the big boobs, but that's how this body looks. So I'm just going to make sure that I have the neckline covered here, and the top part of her shoulders. Doesn't need to be neat and tight, just as good as possible. And I'm going to see if I can lift this up without breaking it. I'm not sure I can do that, because it might get stuck here to the neckline. It is. I'm going to take my blade and I'm just going to cut it open here somehow. There we go. And loosening it up like that, and then I'm just going to put it back together again like that. And there I have a nice mold of her neckline, front and back. And I'm going to take this and then make my mold putty, put my mold putty in there, so that I have a nice part of her neckline, and then I will be back. I made my mold in this piece that I made around the neck on my doll, so I have the neckline here of my doll. You can do this on any dolls you have. Just be careful that the clay you use is not giving the doll some different colors on the skin. Anyway, I have my mold here, and I see the connection on the back here, but that's all fine. But anyway, you can do whatever you like around this. So I started with making some tiny jewels in resin with this mold. As you see, it have some tiny jewels here. So I made that with resin in a color I liked. And I rolled out a piece of clay here and a tiny snake. What you need to know is that these jewels are not going into the oven. Do not put them into the oven. You won't like the result of that. So I am just taking this and I'm going to shape some kind of jewelry around her neck here. I'm not all sure of what I'm gonna do, so I'm just going to play along and do something here. So I'm starting with a piece of clay that have a point on one end, and I'm going to make a tiny roll here. Something like this, and place that and around her neck. And I'm going to cut it off right around the middle of her neck, because I want to be able to put it around her neck without taking her head off. So I'm going to take the other end here and I'm going to make another point. That was not good enough. So I'm making another point on this piece here. And I'm trying to decide what to do. Just remember, you can do whatever you like. There is no rules or anything for what to do here. So I'm just making a little tiny thing here, and again making it go around and cutting off. And I like the ends to meet as good as possible without, well, actually you can make them touch because you can cut them from each other later. Just remember to cut them from each other. Oops. So you can do whatever you like here. And I'm going to bake this before I put in a gem. I'm going to pick one of my gems here to place on this, but I'm just going to bake this first. So I baked this one, and now I'm going to find myself a crystal thing here that I like. Okay, I decided for this jewelry, so I am going to take some glue here, just E6000, and I'm going to dip this into my glue, and then I'm going to glue it on, and I'm going to let that dry. And when that have dried, I'm going to glaze the jewelry with some of my UV resin, because right now it's very matte, and I don't like that. I want it to be shiny. So I'm going to glaze it with my UV resin, and this is a hard UV resin. And I'm just glazing this little diamond with a very, very thin coat, because I want the shape of it to be there still. You could reuse a normal glaze, but I'm not gonna do that. And then I'm going to put this into my UV lamp for 2 minutes. There we go. Now I'm going to take this off, and this part has been reconnected because of the oven, so I'm just going to cut that off a tiny piece here. You see, I cut a tiny piece off here, so now that I can put it around an egg. There I have one necklace, and you just take it apart like this, and it will snap back into place again. So that's nice. Just showing you a simple one. I have a piece of white clay here. that I rolled out on a setting 5, and I'm going to make a choker, just a very slight, simple choker. Put it around there, and I'm just going to cut off this end as well, and I'm just folding this around an egg, or the mold here, and I'm actually making them touch in the back here, because that's going to be easier while baking. And you can put a jewel in here, or a diamond from the resin, or whatever you like to. A little flower you can put there. So this is actually only your imagination that put limits in what you're doing, making for your doll. Just as soon as you have the mold of her neckline, you can do whatever you like to for jewelry. And I will make a few more and show you a few pictures of what you can do. but you will have to figure out more for yourself. But this is one way, and I hope you will enjoy this and make some of that. And if you do anything like this, I would really like to see your pictures. So follow me on Instagram and tag me so I can see whatever you made, because I really like this idea and I really would love to see what you make of it. So go ahead and be crafty, and thank you for watching.